One place that's really famous for fossils is the Niobrara Formation in Kansas. Western Kansas as a whole, actually, there are a lot of geologic formations there that have really stellar fossils. And one unique thing that Western Kansas has is really well-preserved marine fossils from the Coniacian and Santonian stages of the Cretaceous period, which we don't really have here in Texas. We do have those fossils, but our equivalent rocks, which are in the Austin Chalk Formation here in Texas, were not very conducive for preserving bones because the chemistry was different than what was up in Kansas. So it's difficult to find really well-preserved fossils in our Coniacian and Santonian strata. However, I do have one site that I visited well over a year ago. In it, found several ammonites and 2 individuals of what's possibly a new species of sea urchin, a siderid specifically, and siderids are coveted by me and anybody else who really values sea urchins because they are geometrically beautiful and they're quite rare. So today's goal, I'm back at this place. I want to find more of these siderids if that's possible. Let's see if lightning strikes the same place twice. And I want to see if I can find any vertebrate material. So anything from large sharks like the Ginsu shark or anything like that. We'll find out. Our first sign of fossils over here. Look how filled this bank is if you take a close look at it. This is just a little washout, not even down into the creek yet, but it's full of little Gryphea fossils. These are oysters. Here, let's see if I can muscle that out. There you go. So these little oysters, we're only seeing the bigger valve here. There's a little lower valve that closes it. This is just dirt that's covering it right now, but this is a good sign. Where one fossil exists, others may have fossilized as well. It's just been a matter of slipping and sliding down this little gully, but I'm finally seeing some creek over there. But in the meantime, look at this. Yeah, there you go. That is another bivalve, this time not Gryphea, it's Exogyra. I don't know the specific species of Exogyra, but it's pretty cool. And then actually, what I just noticed right here, let's put this down. You see this? This right there is a slick and slide. This is made out of pretty sure calcite. But what happens is you have faulting, you have microfaults. You know how you have tectonic plates? It's not just the big tectonic plates that exist. They're separated into, a bunch of little pieces. So between one of those little faults, rock lifted up, it created this crack. This crack was filled with the ooze that would eventually crystallize to make these. So these little silicon slides, they fill up cracks caused by faulting. Pretty cool. I like the way that this is looking. It's a good sign. There are lots of fossils here. It's a little covered by algae, but do you see these chambers here making this like radial symmetry? This is the remnants of a nautilus, specifically Eutrophoceras decay. Don't think I can get it out because it looks pretty beat up, but hopefully we'll find a better one soon that the weather hasn't gotten to. Look right here. Oh, wow. This is a Baculites. It's a type of straight-shelled ammonite. You can see those beautiful geometric suitors right there. After chiseling a lot, just popped right here. So let's lift it up. There you go. You can see the suitors there. All right, with some cleaning, this is going to be really beautiful. Look here. Here is a Baculites. You can see those worn away suitors right there. And this is a really long, thin one. I'm amazed that this managed to handle the stresses of life in a Cretaceous ocean. This is the impression of an ammonite, and to me, I think this is Texanites. Ammonites are very diverse, and because of that, you get a whole bunch of species that only occur for a little blip of time. So you know that if you find a particular species that does that, then you're probably in that blip of time. If this is Texanites, that means I'm probably in the uppermost Santonian stage of the Cretaceous period, which I suspected anyway, but this is good confirmation. This is crazy. I thought it was a piece of trash at first, but this is an ammonite eroding out. You can see the actual body of the fossil here, and then where it broke away, the impression that it left behind. That is so cool. If you look closely, you can see these little lines. Those are sutures, and the sutures separate different chambers. As the ammonite grows, it begins here and then it slowly grows out, leaving each old chamber behind, so that by the end of its life, it's only occupying one chamber at the end, and the rest of the shell is just used for ballast. I was hoping that today would be the day of sea urchins, but it's turning out to be the day for ammonites, and I'm not complaining. This is beautiful, and I think I can get it out because it's small enough. Here it is. This is beautiful. The other side still needs to get cleaned a bit, but I mean, gorgeous. More work than all the others so far, despite it being so small. Right here at the bottom of this huge cliff. Man, what a sight. I mean, a beautiful creek like this too. This is really cool because what you're seeing is a nautilus, Eutrophoceras takei, worn away. And you can actually see one of its chambers here. But even closer, you see a geode full of crystals. 84 million years ago, this thing died, and now it has crystals growing out of it. That is a beautiful thing. These days, there are not that many nautiloids. You have the nautilus itself. But back then, it used to be way more diverse. In fact, it was probably the uprising of the pinnipeds, so like seals and sea lions. That was the final nail in the coffin for these animals, because if you look at it today, where nautiloids live, where the nautilus lives, it's like one of the only places in the world where you just don't get seals. No pinnipeds at all. So, coincidence? I think not. Well, I'm getting pretty hungry and my phone's running out of battery, so I think it's time to go. But thanks for watching. I found more than I thought I would today. See you guys next time.